So, good evening, my people. So, I'll be taking you a complex number. So, first, we are going to start from a complex number. So, what is a complex number? A complex number is a number. So, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. So, our today's topic is going to be a complex number. Complex number. So, what is a complex number? So, a complex number is a number that has both real parts and imaginary parts. So this is a complex. You can say a complex number is a number that has both real parts and imaginary parts. Okay, it can be written in the form of like this. You can say S is equals to A plus bi, where A is a real number, a real part, and B is a imaginary part, and I is imaginary units, which can be defined like this, which I square is equals to minus I. It can also be written like this. You can square, you carry this one, it's going to be I is equals to square root of minus I. So whenever you see I is going to be minus in an equation like something, we are going to make use of minus I. It's going to be minus 1. So I'm going to give you an example. So example of complex number. We have 3 plus 4i. So when you see 3 plus 4i, which one is the real number? You know that this 3 is a real number. You know that 3 is a real number. Why 4? Why 4 is a what? Is the imaginary part. So it's an imaginary part, not a real number. It's an imaginary part. So let me also give another example. You can also have example 2. We can also have minus 2, minus 5i. Which one is the real? We can say minus 2. Don't make sure that whenever you see symbol like minus 2, minus 5, make sure you use the sign with the sign is with this 2, and this minus 5 is with this 5. So how are we going to, which one is the real number? The real number is what? Minus 2 is what? A real part. Why minus 5 is a what? Is an imaginary part. So we also have another example. You can have example like that. You can also give example something like 7. When you see 7, when you see 7 like, you know that 7 is a what? When you see 7, you know that 7 is a purely real. Why is it a purely real? Because the imaginary part is 0. So because it does not have anything, so we know that the imaginary part is 0. They can also give us something like this also. EI. When you see EI, you know that this E stands for imaginary part. Because they did not give us something that you can say that the real number is 0, while the imaginary part is what? Is purely imaginary, which is 6. You can say purely, you can write purely imaginary, since the real part is what? 0. So I'm going to bring an example now. So I'm going to bring example. We are going to solve like basic operation on complex number. So what are the basic so we are going to start with what? The additional. We start with additional complex number. So complex number. So they can give in an equation, they can give us a complex. You can say a, okay, let me use a plus bi plus c plus di. You see that is additional. Is equals to what? A plus c plus what? bi plus di. This bi plus di cannot be like b plus di. You can write it like this anyway you want. So c plus di, a plus bi. So now example. For example, we have 2 plus 3i plus 7 minus 2i. So if you want to solve this equation, how are we going to solve it? You are going to make use of this. You are going to say 2 can do, you can either do it, I usually do it like this, so I don't know which convenient. Instead of, I will use a, b, c, d. I will say, okay, a plus c, a plus c, you can say 2 plus 7. You see, a plus 2. If I want to use the, okay, let me use the formula. A plus c, right, and what plus what? B plus b plus d. Yes. I will say, what is the a is 2 plus what? What is c? C is 7. Right, plus what? What is b? B is what? 3. And what is the d is what? Minus 2. So what's the answer? Having 9 plus what? Make sure you indicate this on outside. 9 plus what? 1i, which is equal to 9 plus I. So that is it. So I'll solve like 2 more examples on the addition, and then I'll move to the subtraction method. So I'm going to be taking the additional, subtraction, multiplication, and the conjugate. Then that is what we are going to do for today. So you can go ahead and solve more questions on additional, subtraction. So you can learn ahead. So if you have any question, you can just ask. So another example is 7 plus 2i plus 3 minus 2i. So we now say 7 plus 3 plus 2i minus 2i. And 7 plus 6 was 10 plus what is 0. So the answer is equal to what? 10. So another example, let me bring another example. Okay, let me say 8 minus 5i. 8 minus 5i plus 1 minus 2i. So what are we going to do? 8 plus 1 plus what? Remember, minus 5 minus 5 minus 2i. You can put it like this. 9 plus what? 5 plus that is 3i. So I'm going to give you 2 questions to solve. So you can solve this last work. You can see we have 4 minus 3i plus 3 minus 7i. So you can solve this and send the answer. So I'm going to solve these 2 examples. After I solve these 2 examples, I'm going to give you a class work to do. Then you're going to send your work in. So let's do this one. Solution. What are you going to do first? The first is to bring it 8 minus 5i plus 1 minus 3i. So you bring 8 plus 1, 8 plus 1, and this one plus this sign, open bracket, minus 5i. Okay, minus 5i plus, remember that there is plus. If you are doing it with plus, then minus 3i. So 8 plus 1 is what? 9, plus minus 5i, minus plus times minus is what? Minus 3i. So we can break out the I. So 9 is equal to minus 5 minus 3i is what? Minus 5 minus 3i. We want to calculate minus 5 minus 3i is what? That is minus what? 8i. That is it. So the second example, 2 minus 5i. No, it's plus. I'm doing it with plus. Plus minus 3 minus 4i. So to calculate this, we are going to do 2. Remember, there is plus here. So plus minus I is minus 3 plus bracket is what? Minus 5i, and this one is minus 4i. Remember, so this one is going to be what? Minus 1 plus what? Plus 9 minus 9i. So minus 1 minus 9i. That's the answer. So class work.